EA, tell them put us on a Madden code. Stepbrothers.
And that is Matt and Curse off of Stepbrothers for Life. Don Tripp, Starlito. This project is absolute heat. Just came out today. They don't miss. Like anytime, whether it be the Stepbrothers projects, featuring on each other's projects, they do not miss. So go check it out. Stepbrothers for Life in your phones right now.
Urban Artificial Intelligence Strategic Thinking Media Platform. Don Tripp and Starlito released Stepbrothers 4. Let me know what y'all think of this album, man. I'm going to give y'all my personal opinion of this album. But first, before we get into the comparisons, I know y'all see the title of the video. Before we get into any comparison, what did y'all think about Stepbrothers 4? Have y'all listened to the album? That's why I kind of waited a little bit. I wanted to really hear the album, get into the album, get a feel for the album. How do y'all feel about this album? Where do y'all think this ranks on the all-time Stepbrothers list? I want y'all to get in the comments and let me know. I think this is the best one. In my opinion, I think this is the best one. This is one of my favorite albums of 2025, probably by far. And I like Jim Jones' album. I like Hardy album. I like Baby album. I like Drake and Party album. But of all those that I named, I think the Don Tripp and the Starlito album is probably overall is what's gonna get the most play out of all those at this point. Maybe it's because I'm just starting to listen to it heavily, and all those other albums came out before, and I've been able to sit with those. But I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. This Stepbrothers 4, Don Tripp and Starlito, this is the best Stepbrothers. I think I would damn near say this is a classic already. And I don't want to jump the gun. That's why I waited a little bit to listen to the album, see how I felt about it. Waited a couple of days, didn't listen to it, because I have a habit of doing that. When something first come out, I play it a lot and kind of outplay it, overly play it. I didn't do that. I listened to it. I seen I was gonna like it. I was like, you know what? Let me give it a couple of days. Let me come back, revisit it. It still had the same effect. I would go as so far to say that this is a modern day hip hop classic. All right, in my opinion, the production, the wordplay, the beat selection, the rhymes, the jewels. All right, they drop a lot of jewels on this album, and the rhymes actually mean something on here. All right, they actually talking about something. They expressing themselves. Everything from anxiety to mental health to parenting to social norms and how people see you as a person, as an artist, as a father, financial stability, co-parenting, everything that you want in an album, in music, in today's world that you're looking for in a rap album is here. I want y'all to get in the comments and let me know. Do y'all feel the same way? Because I'm not seeing enough people talk about this album. That's why it's bringing me to bring up another duo, and we're going to compare Don Tripp and Starlito to Styles P, and Jadakiss. This is something that Don Tripp and Starlito rapped about on this album. I forgot what song it was. I'll put it up on the screen. Starlito specifically said, y'all ain't heard this since Styles and Kiss. When I heard, because I was kind of comparing him to Styles P and Kiss before, but when I heard that bar, I knew I had to make this video, and I knew I had to make that comparison because it just makes sense. What other duo can you even put in the same sentence with Styles P and Jadakiss? I think Don Tripp and Starlito got the longevity. They have the rap. They got the production. They have the substance. They got everything that you need. They got the commercial success. I think they have enough commercial success. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot. I think they deserve more. But this is a classic, and this Stepbrothers 4 is going to age very well, man. I think the amount of quality joint albums that kind of separate Don Tripp and Starlito, man. This whole Stepbrothers series in a whole has been going on for a long time, and that is kind of what created the conversations about Jadakiss and Styles P. I want y'all to get in the comments and let me know, has Don Tripp and Starlito surpassed Jadakiss and Styles P as the greatest hip hop duo of all time? I think it's an argument, y'all. I'm gonna be real. I think it's an argument. Before Stepbrothers 4, I would say Don Tripp and Lito was right there with Styles P and Jadakiss. But after this, after Stepbrothers 4, you could argue that they better, in my opinion. And when it comes to being a duo, when it comes to the rapping, going back and forth, the bars being smooth and deep, when it's two people exchanging lyrics, going back and forth on the track, that's very hard to do. If you're an artist, you know that that's hard to do. That takes more time than a regular verse most of the time, depending on the engineering, depending on how you create the music. That takes longer than just one person. Having two people go back and forth, that's very strenuous. All right. And for them to have a whole series of albums like that, I think that can kind of put them in a place by themselves when it comes to duos. Let me know. Am I tripping? Do I feel like this Step Brothers 4 album is better than it is? Because I asked some people, I talked to some friends of mine, and maybe it's because we all have the same taste in music generally, but everybody who I asked about this album, they liked it, man, and they thought it was definitely an above average album. Now, this conversation also brought up another conversation about New York and the South as far as rap sustainability, the longevity, and the shelf life of lyrics, songs, and artists. And I think when you talk about Don Tripp and Starlito, it's two examples of what New Yorkers said the South didn't have. They said the South didn't really have lyricists and their music didn't last. It wasn't any longevity behind their music. But when you look at people like Don Tripp and Starlito, listen to the things that they're talking about, listen to the vibe of the music. It's a timeless vibe. These songs will be played 10, 15 years from now. I'm not saying they're going to be on the radio or they're going to be mainstream spinning songs, but these songs still will be played because of their subject matter. These are the things now that you see the South has that people from New York, people up north said that we would never have. They said that we would never have nobody like a Nas. You know what I mean? We would never have nobody like a Jadakiss, like a Fabulous, who was just so nice with the bars and they music lasted and endured so long. This is what we seeing with Don Tripp and Starlito. I think the South has been on top for a long time, and people are starting to see in the hip hop community the Southern artists are aging just as well as New York artists. Don Tripp and Starlito are aging just as well as Jadakiss and Styles P. Lyrically, you listen for yourself. Listen to Step Brothers 4. I don't know if Jadakiss and Styles P would be that sharp on a joint album today. Get in the comments and let me know. I could be wrong. If Jadakiss and Styles P went in the studio right now, I do not think they could make anything better than Step Brothers 4. That's my opinion. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years ago, I may have a different opinion. But right now in 2025, if Jadakiss and Styles P went in the booth and locked in, I don't think they can make anything better than Step Brothers 4, man. But y'all get in the comments and let me know, is this evidence of the South continuing to have a stronghold on the hip hop game? Look at these two Southern artists and how they age, and look at their catalog. If you're not familiar with these two artists, go look at their catalog. And if you're not going to do that, listen to Step Brothers 4. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. Don't just read the title of this video and decide that you want to disagree with me. Listen to Step Brothers 4 and tell me that that's not a classic. Urban Artificial Intelligence, Strategic Thinking Media Platform. I'm going to see y'all in the next episode. Peace.